Hello, it's John that you're here again, and well, I'm just trying to work out how to get this working properly on my computer. But that's just something for me to play around with later on when everything's done. So, anyway, there's those moments in your life, and you jump in, feet first. Now, there was a situation back when I was really young. And when you're young is not the best time to jump in the deep end. As I found out when I was, I don't know, five-ish, something like that, at my grandparents' house. And I said, well, look at me, I'm Tarzan, I can swim. And I jumped in the deep end of the pool and went straight down to the bottom. And, oh, there it is. Changed the side. Anyway, my dad had to pull me out by the hair. Now, that is... Hi, good evening, Laurel. Now, that's an example of, in moments when, you should probably think first. But I was young. Now I'm 40 odd years older than I was back then. And I'm reading a really, really good book, which I'm not going to name, only because it'll tell you pretty much straight away what I'm talking about. But one of the key things that I've got from reading this book is, in order to give ourselves more more drive to do the things that we want to achieve, we need to give ourselves accountability. Now, coming from a mental health space, myself, a lot of the readings I've done in the past have talked about having accountability to ourselves. And for mental health, that is absolutely right. Mental health, you need to be focusing on what is right for you. It doesn't matter how how other people perceive it. As long as that is going to put you in a good mental space, that's what you do. But sometimes we want to change a career. We want to go on a holiday. We want to do a project at home, some sort of art or reconstruction or something like that. And often we don't do it. And the main reason, according to the book that I was reading, is because we don't have accountability. It doesn't mean that if we make ourselves accountable to someone else, that we're going to get it done. But anyway, I know I am stringing you all along with this, because this is something that I have thought about at least for the last 6 months. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. And a couple of days ago, about a week ago, I just started, I've signed up for a workshop. And as a result of that workshop, when I do it, I will be able to work out ways that I can get myself in. And what I'll be doing, and I'm really beating around the bush, I'm really stringing you on here, and you're probably going, just spit it out. But anyway, last week, over 2 or 3 days, 2 hours each, maybe 3 hours each, I wrote the first 2 chapters of a book that I'm writing. A book that is going to encapsulate not only the mental health struggle I've had, but also the little gems that have helped me to actually unpack and understand my own unique spiritual identity, and that focus and connection within that I have discovered in the recent years. That can go away. I don't know why I'm getting things on my computer. Anyway, so the reason why I'm making this post is later tonight I will be releasing my mock-up of the cover and the title of the book. And once I can get things worked out how to do it, I'm going to be starting to set up so that people can do the pre-orders. Now, the book I've been reading, I can tell you now, it's called Shut Up and Write Your First Book by Natasha Denman from The Ultimate 48-Hour Author. And she's the mentor who my sister, Kayleen, who is a huge inspiration as far as this goes, but also how she is leveraging all her experience in life to do what she loves to do. And that's where I've been progressively moving towards over the last year, definitely last year, but even the last 18, well, almost 2 years, discovering what I love to do, and that is helping people. Now, over the last year, I've done many workshops. Palawa was the one that started it off, which is a healing modality which I perform. It's a gentler energy than Reiki, and it works more on the subtle bodies and your consciousness, because it actually means sorry, I'm trying to get the word, a significant change in consciousness or something along those lines. It's been a while since I've read it. And that actually led to my discovering where I wanted to go. How I was going to get there was going to be another story. And, well, yeah, that might come up in the book. I guess you'll have to tune in for that. But I've also done a lot of workshops where it's been personal development and probably touching on some of the coaching sort of stuff that my sister has done. And she has done a lot with me as well, helping me to get an understanding of where I want to take my business once I get my business sort of working and going and happening. And that's where I'm working right now. So by day I'm a kindergarten teacher, and weekends and after work I'm a holistic counselor and a spiritual healer. I use tarot and cards to help people and even to gain inspiration myself. I use 2 decks generally. I use the Rider tarot cards, and this is a card I grabbed yesterday, which is the 7 of Cups, and there's like a person standing there sort of a little bit overwhelmed because there's so many options, so many opportunities, and oops, there we are, and gifts happening, and quite often it can be really overwhelming when things start to fall into place, but at the same time, it can be really enlightening. The other set I use is the Psychic Tarot Oracle cards. And this is a card I picked at the same time. That way. Fulfillment of Wishes. And I picked these yesterday morning. I don't use them every day. It depends on what I'm doing, and as I said, I have a full-time job, so it is challenging at times to remember, take time and connect with spirit. And that's where I'm wanting to go. I want to get my story out about how I have been able to get that connection. Sometimes I feel like I'm really struggling, but then I sit down and give myself a second or two, and next thing I know, inspiration's popping in, or I can feel the gentle touch on the shoulder of spirit. Hi, Diane and Kayleen. Thank you. I'm not going to put a deadline right now as far as exactly when the book is going to be done, because the workshop I'm doing with Natasha, I'll be able to find out then when they have their launch and whether I'm going to be able to fund myself to get into that launch, and have the book published at that time. But my goal is to be working and have the manuscript completed in the next 6 months. And that's the message I got the other night when I was doing It's My Life, which is a coaching circle my sister does, Kayleen. And that was really a really strong thing. Part of during the meditation that or the mindfulness practice that she took us through to get into the zone for the activity we were doing, she got us to ask a question. And like, I asked my question and I sort of knew the answer. And then I was like, okay, about my business and about my book and all this sort of thing. And I was going down the process of formulating a question of, how long or what, and 6 months jumped straight out. So that's it in a nutshell. I just realized I've frozen. Well, I haven't frozen. I stopped. Probably looked like I was frozen. But anyway, yeah, 6 months. And I plan to have this book ready to go. Natasha's book, Shut Up and Write Your First Book. Amazing. And I'm not even halfway through it. And so many of the reasons why people hold off, I'm going, yep, tick, 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 tick. And that's why I've got more. As she put it, Natasha says that she always, now, I think 9 or 10 books down the track, she always now does a pre-launch to get that accountability. And I guess in a way it's sort of, then you can put little snippets out, little snippets about what people might see in the book, what they might hear, what they might read about, and give them little tasters to get them interested and to get the words spreading. So there you go. As I said, I'll be releasing a mock-up. Now, whether or not what I will release later tonight ends up being the cover, I don't know. Don't even know whether it's going to be the title of the book. But one thing I do know is the first chapter I wrote about, I was talking a lot about synchronicity. And I think it was Carl Jung, the psychologist, describes synchronicity as seemingly unconnected coincidences that actually have an underlying connection. Something like that. I like to think that synchronicity is more a measurement that shows that you are connecting with the universe. And the way to do that is to connect with your purpose. And that is a key aspect of what this book's going to be about the journey I've taken, particularly over the last year. But it also, when I look at it, is as long as my life has been learning the intricacies of who I am and what my passions are. So I think to leave you here, number one, values. Values are probably the key thing that helped me to actually turn that corner. Once I started to really understand what my values were, lots of things changed. Lots. And the other thing is paying attention. Because once we start to live true to our values, and then we start to become more mindful and in the present, we will start to see those synchronicities coming into our lives. And if you don't see them now, think about moments where you've had those times where everything fell into place. You wanted a specific car. Cars are a perfect one. You wanted a red Mazda. Someone I know wants a red Mazda. You want a red Mazda 323 or Mazda 3 or whatever they're called nowadays. Specific model. You go out driving tomorrow and you'll start seeing red Mazdas everywhere because you're starting to put it out there. You wanted a new job and you really started focusing on it, and then all of a sudden you've met someone who's told you about a job opportunity or career thing happening. This is exactly how I got my role at this, where I work now at the local council. My then wife told me that her friend that they'd been out for dinner had told her that there were positions going for kindergarten teachers. So I went, I needed a change. I thought that's what I needed. That's just where I needed to go to get the experience. Mazda 3, yes, Diane, we'll get one day. So I think I should probably call it a night here, because any moment now I'm probably going to start getting messages from my Toastmasters club saying, hey, where are you? But, well, no, I don't think I'll get messages, but I know that I'll start going, I better hurry up and get off and get on there, because, yeah, that's a lot of fun as well. So, for now, I'll leave you with that. Think about those moments in your own life where you've had those special occurrences. Think about your values. Think about, are you really walking that line of your truth? And watch those synchronicities start to swim around you and take you places you never would have imagined. Love to you all. Bye.